Hello everyone, X-Wall Kill Bethelite here. And you hear a lot on videos that you should leave the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, which is true. But there are a lot of ways to do it. You don't have to just up and suddenly leave if that's going to cause a lot of problems. You can plan it out. And essentially, when a person is talking about fading, that's what they're talking about. There's no one way to do it. But there is one thing you gotta do, and that is get away from that damn cult. You can do it a myriad of different ways. It don't matter what way you choose. Have some vitamin water. That cult is so bad, I don't care how you get away from it, just get away from it. You could comment in the comment section how you got away from that cult. That cult is so damn ridiculous. I would not blame you. I don't care what the heck you did. I don't care if you waited for your Jehovah's Witness family to go to sleep. You put sleeping pills in all of their Kool-Aids so that they were sound asleep, and then you packed up all your stuff and you left and didn't tell anybody where the heck you were going. I don't care how you do it. Just do it. There's some situations that are so bad that you just need to get out of it. You don't need to worry about how. Just get out of it. I'll give you an example. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, I fainted and landed in the bathtub. This is serious. I fainted. I was getting ready for work, and I fainted and landed in the bathtub. That's how much stress I was under. But I didn't have these videos. I didn't have these people all connecting the dots for me and telling me that I need to get out. I didn't know until I went to Bethel that Watchtower was just full of it, that Jehovah's Witnesses are full of it. Whatever you see in a Watchtower that they're trying to portray, they are the opposite. Now let's get back to this fainting episode. People don't just up and paint. It could have been passed out, fainted, whatever you want to call it. But dude, I woke up curled up in the bathtub, not curled up in the fetal position, but if you fall backwards and land in the tub, your body is now shaped like a U. So think of it this way. If you're standing upright and you fall back into the tub, you're I can't get my hand that way. You're curled up like this in the tub. Legs up, sticking straight up, and you're hunched over. I used to work at the airport in Ohio. Now, there were Jehovah's Witnesses that worked at the same airport. I would go into work, and with these airports, I don't know if you guys have ever had an airport job, but with these airports, you've got a distance to go before you get to where you actually work. You got to go in and go through the metal detectors and all this other jazz, and then you got to get on a bus. The bus takes you from where the metal detectors are all the way over to the general area of the main facilities. Then you got to walk from there to get to a time clock. The time clocks ain't necessarily anywhere near where you work. So then you got to clock in and then you got to get to work. Well, I would clock in to work. This is why I'm Jehovah's Witness. Clock in to work. I clock in on time. And as soon as I clock in, I hear my supervisor, which was this lady, short, wide lady. She just was very wide, you know, and round, wide and round. Reminds you literally of the globe. If you were to draw the United States of America and, you know, other continents, or if she were to just wear a shirt with different continents on it, the continent of Africa, she would just look like a globe. She was wide and round, and she would bounce around. As soon as I clock in, and I clock in on time, she is literally at the time clock, going on and on and on about, just behind me, just talking about, you don't want to, you know, let it be so close to the time to clock in. You want to get yourself here early. Dude, I did get here early. I had to take a bus to get over here. I can't just go. I can't just walk across where airplanes are taking off. I had to take a bus. I got to wait for the bus. So she is just yapping and yapping and yapping behind me about how I need to not be cutting it so close. Even though I'm getting to work on time, I need to not be cutting it so close. And she follows me all the way to where I work. Now, keep in mind, the time clock wasn't anywhere near where in specific I work. So I understand where she's coming from. Where she's coming from is you can clock in on time, but not necessarily be where you work on time. So my whole thing is, hey, are you going to pay me? If I clock in early, are you going to pay me for the time that it takes me 10 miles to walk to where I work? So she's behind me, yapping and yapping and yapping from the time that I get to work. Keep in mind, usually, and I was working third shift, so usually when I get to work, it's not long after I just woke up. And my day started with all this blah, 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 blah. Don't be cutting it so close. You're just a few minutes away from a bus being late. Buses can break down, blah, 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 and then you'll be late clocking in. So I walk all the way to work, listening to all that blah, blah, blah. And she's doing it all the time. Then I get to work. People at work are having fun. In Ohio, we used to have winters where we would get a lot of snow. People are at work literally throwing snowballs and all kinds of stuff like this. I can't just relax like that. I can't relax. I got Jehovah's Witnesses, the people from my hall, not just Jehovah's Witnesses, people from my hall that work there. And they show up and they bring things that we've got to ship to other areas. So if I'm just chilling with all the quote unquote worldly people, see, people don't realize how ridiculous and not normal living as a Jehovah's Witness is. You can't just hang out and chill with your workmates at work. It ain't like I'm leaving work with them. So I'm at work, and you can't just clock in and walk to the time clock. You got somebody blabbing and yapping the whole time you walk into the time clock. And then once you get to work, you can't just relax with your workmates because you got Jehovah's Witnesses that go to your hall popping up. Then the woman that was yapping and complaining about how, you know, people are cutting it close, even though they're clocking in on time, is literally going off about paper clips. She picks up her whatever the heck she has to go over when we have our shift meeting, picks up her papers, and she's going on and on about somebody took her paper clip and the paper clips ain't never where she last put it, and yada yada yada. And I mean, it wasn't just me that she was irritating because she just would follow people around and just that. I guess that's what she thought her job was. Now, granted, she's a supervisor, but she would just follow people around and just question every damn thing they did. I don't care if you scratched your head. Why don't you take your glove off before you scratch your head? Then put your glove back on before, like, she is just unreal. Just following people around, babbling all night. The supervisors usually were in like this office area. It was an enclosed office area where they would sit at the computer and work, and we would be pretty much outside where forklifts and things like that can bring stuff to us. We can put labels on them so they can get shipped to other areas. One of the guys that was a supervisor that worked with her, old, super short guy, would literally go off because by the time she got done yapping at all of us, and when I say nonstop, I mean nonstop, she would go into the little office area and I guess yap at him nonstop to the point where he would burst out of it. We used to have to wear ramp vests half hanging off. He's stomping away. He would get on this little golf cart and take off. Leg half hanging out the golf cart. He would take off to get the hell away from her. That's how bad my work environment was. I had a work environment with a supervisor. You can't get the hell away from her. You can't just get away from her. So she's just following you behind you, questioning everything, questioning the safety of everything that you do. Her coworker, the other supervisor, would storm off, drive off, go somewhere the hell else. I don't know where he used to go to get the hell away from her. Then I would leave work and start field service because I was pioneering. So I'm working third shift in a stressful work environment, leave my stressful work environment, start field service, early as all get out, in a car with the most judgmental people on the planet. Oftentimes, after field service, I would get back home, have time to eat, have time to do a few things, but then I'll have to get ready for the meeting. I get to the hall, and I kid you not, there is an elder. Like, as soon as you walk in the hall, there's the information board with everybody who's giving talks or whatnot. The minute you walk in the hall, there's an elder standing right there. Where have you been? You got to get the mics ready. Has anybody set up the stage? You got to set the stage up. Like, what the hell have you been doing? Like, you were here before me. What the hell have you been doing? I'm not late to the meeting. I'm just not super early. And they wanted me there super early to do every damn thing because nobody else wanted to do anything. So now I got an elder all in my ear about setting up the stage, get the sound ready. You got to get here early. Guess what? I got parts. So on top of getting yapped at work, then you got the magnifying glass on you out in field service. Then you go to the hall, you got elders yapping at you. Then you got a part you got to get up on stage in front of everybody. Like, it was nonstop. And it's not like I hadn't tried to straighten things out with my supervisor. I remember one day I got to work early. I'm talking, I got there early. And, I got there to the time clock where I'm like, 15 minutes early at the time clock. There's people there from the other shift getting ready to clock out and go home. So now I clock in, I got plenty of time, but they don't start paying you until your regular time, because they know people have to walk. I clock in plenty of time. I start walking thinking I'm going to have me at least a little bit of peace. Just peace for the time that I'm walking from the time clock to where I got to work. No! This big bitch is right behind me. And she's yapping and yapping and yapping about the direction that I take to get to work. Damn it, I clocked in on time. She's yapping about the direction, the route essentially. That the route I take to get to my assignment ain't the quickest route possible. And then she's yapping about that. And then we get to work and then she's bothering everybody. It did not matter what the hell you did. This woman was going to go off about something. And that's my whole work day. So it was nonstop. And I was in a particularly stressful time because I was asking the elders. I asked every elder if I should go to Bethel. I'm trying to make a major life decision of should I go to Bethel. And I am around one of the most stressful cults there is, and a stressful work environment with the cult members at the damn work environment. I couldn't go to the store. I was born and raised in the area. We knew every damn Jehovah's Witness. Other halls. You can't go to Walmart without somebody seeing you, and now you got eyes on you. You got somebody judging you from the damn milk aisle. Like it is non-fucking stop stress. So fast forward, I'm printing out all kinds of information about Bethel to try to figure out if I should go or get married. And thank God I did not get married in that cult. You hear me complain about Bethel. If I got married in that cult, my God, that might have been worse. And when I'm under all this stress, and I remember literally I'm getting up to get ready for work, and then I wake up in the damn bathtub. I'm in the bathroom, the mirror's in front of me, the bathtub's behind me. I'm getting ready, and next thing I know, I'm waking up. All folded up. Like a damn folding chair. I'm folded up in the damn tub. So either I fainted, or some random person ran in the house and cracked me over the head while I was getting ready for work. Most likely I fainted. That's how bad that damn work environment is. And when you put on top of it the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, you're talking one of the most stressful cults there are. So your health, your well-being is involved when you talk about getting away from that damn cult. So some people are able to just leave. And that's great. Because there's some people that don't have any family in it at all. And they're the only ones. And they can just leave. Then you got people who are married in that damn cult. And they're trying to get their spouse out. There's planning involved. The kids, what about the kids? So you have to find a way that's right for you. But whichever way that is, you know what I mean, start the process. You shouldn't be bought all the way in. You should, at the very least, you should not be bought all the way in. If you can not go to assembly, don't go to assembly. If you can not put money in the contribution box, then don't put money in the contribution box. Because some people, they're married in, so their spouse is watching them. Their spouse has got the magnifying glass on them. Their spouse is going to know if you're not in an assembly. You know, your spouse is going to know if you miss a meeting. Your spouse is going to know if instead of going to the Zoom meeting, you're watching the game on TV. You know what I mean? But some people don't have that situation. There's different situations from different people. Some people don't have that situation. Some people you can get away with half-assing it to lessen the stress of constantly being around negative people. Just negative. Just, oh, the world is so bad. Oh, Armageddon is going to come and destroy everything. Oh, and Jehovah's Witnesses have that helpless mindset where the world is so bad, yet they do nothing to make it better. They don't help feed the homeless. They don't help with shelter. They don't clean up parks. They don't do anything but complain. That's all Jehovah's Witnesses do is complain. So you're at the hall, all they do is complain. They don't make the situation any better. I remember driving past churches when I started to wake up after Bethel. When I was in the process of waking up, I would drive past churches. And in Ohio, I'd be worried because there were Jehovah's Witnesses every damn where. I'd be worried I would get seen. I remember one time I didn't care. I went inside of a church, sat through the service, and I would go out the back. My car would be parked in the back because I didn't want to hear about it from the whole damn city that Marcus went to a church. So I went to the church. I remember it was a Catholic church, Catholic service. Once I got over the fear that was put in me by Jehovah's Witnesses that everything was demonic, once I got over that, I would sit down at church and it would be peaceful. Literally, I could go into church, sit down, and be left the hell alone. Like, leave me the fuck alone. I could sit down in church and be left the fuck alone in church. This should be appealing to Jehovah's Witnesses. Granted, the Catholic service is very, very different. You may not have love bombing. You shouldn't need all that stuff, but you may not have love bombing. But one thing that ought to be appealing, because I went to an Orthodox church also, and that was similar. One thing that should be appealing to both should be appealing to Jehovah's Witnesses about Catholic and Orthodox churches is being left the fuck alone. Like, sometimes a situation is so bad. This is what I meant earlier when I said the method don't matter. Is getting out of that cult. Sometimes the situation is so bad, cursing is okay. Curse all the hell you want. Because of how bad the damn situation is, it just don't matter. Whatever gets the stress off. Thinking about that situation is stressful. And it's literally the truth that I think one thing that appealed to me about the Catholic Church was the history. With Jehovah's Witnesses, your entire history is errors, false teaching. That's your whole history is basically, it's against Jehovah's Witness religion to look back at the Jehovah's Witness history because everything they taught was so damn false. So one thing that's interesting about the Catholic Church, where it was to me, was the history. If you're into church history, if you're into, organization this, organization that, look at some of these huge cathedrals. You know, they actually have something worth studying, worth looking into, along with the Orthodox. So I would study both Catholic and Orthodox, which was essentially one church that disagreed about one thing. To my knowledge, one thing. So I would study both of them and sit and think, man, I'm allowed to study the history and talk about it. I could call a priest and talk about, or talk to whoever I was buddied up with at the church about anything in church history. It could be something bad. Still talk about it. It wasn't forbidden to look at your own history. So not only could I sit down and relax and nobody was bothering me about the damn sound, which the Jehovah's Witness meeting would be so much better without the sound, because who wants to hear that bullshit? We should not have sound to listen to complete and total fucking idiots get up on stage and talk about shit that's not going to be true in a year. Once they finally figure it the fuck out that they are teaching people the wrong thing, now everybody's going to have beers. Now everybody's going to be cleaning glasses. It's just, it's ridiculous. So going to a different church was so relaxing to me that I could sit down and listen to a service, and then after the service, get up and leave. You ain't got to sit there and talk all damn day if you don't want to. What's good?
You don't have no squares?
No, I don't got no squares. I don't got no squares. I was about to ask for change. I was about to give him some. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame. That's a whole nother topic right there. About the black youth and parenting and things like that, because that's a kid. That ain't no super old guy. But yeah, I was gonna give him some change, because it's the polar opposite mindset of Jehovah's Witnesses. The solution to problems is that we just gotta wait until the second coming is the solution to all the problems. But just get the hell away and have some peace, and you will see. Because when I was going to both Catholic and Orthodox, I used to check them both out. When I was going to the Catholic church and the Orthodox church, I went to an Orthodox church. They had all the incense. They had the service. I would sit, relax, enjoy the service, and nobody's judging me. You ain't got to wear a suit if you don't want to wear a suit. Jehovah's Witnesses are just ridiculous in the sense that you dress, what they call dressing up, is to wear the cheapest damn suit that they have at Burlington. There's no damn reason to dress up then. Why do you have a book bag? Why do you have dress shoes, dress slacks, and all this dress shirt? And the scripture that they use is the one about, well, if you were to go up in front of your dignitaries that are human, you would try to look your best. So if you're doing something for God, why wouldn't you try to look your best? The problem with this whole concept is you go and get the cheapest goddamn suit that they have. Shit don't even fit you right. You think you fooling God? You ain't even fooling man. Everybody sees you in these dirty ass, cheap ass suits. Button missing and every damn thing. I already told y'all about them dirty ass collars. Jehovah's Witnesses will judge you for not wearing a suit. when they are wearing the dirtiest, sloppiest, smelliest. I used to smell people from when I was sitting behind them. You would smell them and they're dressed up. It don't make no damn sense. They're wearing a suit, yet they hadn't taken a bath. But this is what Jehovah's Witnesses do. You got to wear a suit. You don't necessarily got to take a bath. Your suit could be cheap as the hell. Cheap ass suit. But, you know, I'm keeping my head on the swivel. Because it looked like that little boy had a pipe on him or something. You know what I mean? So I'm keeping my head on the swivel because I got a pipe on me too. But the whole thing makes no sense. So I'm in Ohio and I'm going to these churches, and even though I'm in a stressful environment, just that one simple move alone to get the fuck away from that cult felt so much better. And guess what? I hadn't fainted since then. Since I got away from that cult, I hadn't fainted. Because it was ultimate stress all the time. If you were awake, you were stressed. And if you believed it, you're worried about Armageddon. And never doing enough. You could be a pioneer and think, I might not make it through Armageddon because I still ain't doing enough. What really got it was after started going to different churches. I went to a Baptist church also to check it out. Pentecostal, a lot of them. Started going to churches, finding peaceful environments, quiet places to pray. That cut half the stress right then and there. Then I went to New York. I went to Queens, New York. And I went to Queens, New York to get the hell away from all of them. I can't tell you how great that was to get away to the point where when I went to the store, I ain't seeing no Jehovah's Witness that I know. When I'm out, I was in Queens looking for work. When I'm looking for work, I don't know none of these Jehovah's Witnesses. I can walk down the damn street and not see no Jehovah's Witnesses. When I was at Ohio, when I tried to walk to the dollar store to get something to drink, somebody would see me that knew me and pull the damn car over to try to have a damn discussion about some watchtower or some shit. I'm not joking. Especially on Saturday when Jehovah's Witnesses were out. I couldn't even be outside. If I were walking to the store, the car would see me, somebody would see me and stop the car and pull over. So when I went to New York and I wasn't going to no hall, no Jehovah's Witness knew me, my stress level went from 200 to like -10. I'm in Queens, New York. I'm enjoying Queens, New York. I was staying with a guy, which he was pretty cool, nice enough to, you know, let me stay up there to try to relocate. I wasn't going to be able to stay there because, you know, I remember trying to sleep one night. The guy would get up and start drilling. Heck, it's his house. He can go drill if he want to, but it was waking me up. I remember, I don't think they had no AC, and man, when you talk hot, it was hotter than the damn desert. And that's at night, some nights. And then the other thing, he didn't like it if people had food in their room. Now, you would say, oh, I completely understand that. You know, you don't want no rodents, you don't want this, you don't want that. The problem is the fridge had stuff in there that had been in there for so goddamn long that the shit that was in there was growing different types of life forms on it. Like there was salad in the fridge and that shit had all kind of moss and shit in there, and that shit had stuff growing in it that I don't think scientists have discovered yet. The shit that was growing on shit in the fridge. They had like hot dogs and shit that had been in there for so goddamn long that the shit wasn't the same color it was supposed to be. Like hot dogs are like around about the color of your you know, kind of a tannish color. That shit was turning red and was hard. Like the shit had been in there for you. If you went to the grocery store and got food, I tell you one place you were not going to put it was in his damn refrigerator. So I can understand why damn near everybody would try to find a place to put their food in their room, or eat when they eat, just eat out somewhere. Try to find some place that's not super expensive. New York had a lot of pizza places. Find a place that's not super expensive and just eat there, because god damn it, how the hell were you gonna eat in that house? So I remember there was one time I had some cereal and I opened the door to walk out and they said, I noticed you got cereal. You got cereal. You got cereal in your room. Other than that, the trip to get away from Jehovah's Witnesses was the greatest thing ever. I 100% endorse, if you are in a town, especially a small town, and all the Jehovah's Witnesses know you, get the hell away from that situation. Because I remember there was a situation where there was a couple that killed themselves. And I don't know if you guys remember, but they tried to put an explosive device in the hall. I think one of the guys' name, I think, was Enoch or something like that. Some Bible name. But it was a couple. They killed themselves, and they were planning on blowing up the Kingdom Hall, but the device didn't go off. Before you get to that point, get the fuck away from Jehovah's Witnesses. And I 100% understand how a person can get that stressed. Because you got regular life stress, you got work stress, and then you got nonstop Jehovah's Witness stress, and you got the shunning and everything else involved with it. It's better to, instead of just being surrounded by this damn cult, get the hell away from it. And that'll help with your mental health. It'll help with your stress levels. It'll help with everything. So I was in New York for probably about 6 months or so looking for work. And for whatever reason, in Queens, New York, I could not find a job. Partly, I think, because the subway system, I didn't know where the hell I was going, when the hell I was getting there, trying to get to places for interviews, you know what I mean, and all that. So I went there for about 6 months. It was a great 6 months. You would think, oh, that's stressful. You went to New York and you're looking for jobs and it was hard to find them? No. It was a walk in the park compared to being around them damn Jehovah's Witnesses and being around that goddamn supervisor that I had that followed me around regardless of what the hell I did, yapping. I mean, it's there's different levels. You know what I mean? There's people who have major problems. They're driving hoopties. The whole damn front of it is off of the car. And then there's people who are in fucking Ferraris, rich as hell, complaining about life. That's how it was for me. Leaving and getting away from Jehovah's Witnesses, the problem I had felt like I had a damn Ferrari. I was super rich and the stuff that was going on was hardly anything to worry about. That's how much of an improvement it was. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. But I think however the hell you got to get away from Jehovah's Witnesses, I think that do it. You know what I mean? However the hell you can get away from, get away from. Whatever process you need to go through to get away from them. And then you'll notice yourself how your health and everything improves. X Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.